What's amazing is that you have people convinced, zealously convinced, not just mediocre convinced. There's some people who are actually going out of their mind almost, convinced that global warming is in the near term going to destroy the planet and obliterate life itself as we know it. But according to the evidence, they have as much chance as proving their agenda than the Christians do about God. You're right. A lot of people would not know that God exists without another person telling them. And there no way is going to take that secondhand information that's been regurgitated and vomited up through generations to make someone who doesn't believe in God be a believer. So instead of inserting scientist, say preacher, politician, instead of saying we're convinced of the data, say that we have faith in the people telling us about the data, because in no way are they experts, right? In no way the people who believe in global warming are experts. They have no physical proof like those who follow God and say God exists do with theirs. So why don't you just interchange the words? Instead of saying preacher, say scientist. And instead of saying Christian, say a believer in global warming, because you sound exactly the same and they could be interjected back and forth. It doesn't matter, does it? It really doesn't matter what subject we're speaking about. I have as much chance as convincing a person who believes in global warming about God than they do. Take me, make me see what you see, and make me expand what you can show me in the physical realm to the fact that we're facing global annihilation. There's very little people who are living like they believe in God, right? Sin is rampant, divorce, adultery, stealing, depravity, drugs, right? As a society, we're living as if there is no God. What about you global warmalists? Do you believe? Has your life changed to the extent where it affects your living? Do you drive around in your cars and take planes to your destination? Are you living the life like you actually believe there's such a thing as global warming, that it does exist? Would I see it in the way you live or the way the politicians or scientists live? Are the scientists not bought and sold like preachers, regurgitating some nonsensical value and agenda that they're going to get paid for? Has it changed their life, this so-called data? And what's most astounding is finite man has built a machine or accumulated data that can tell the future. Then why do you need the machine or the data? You got man. But how is finite man, who is limited not to know what's going to come tomorrow and has a harder time telling us about the weather, going to tell us about the annihilation of a planet? And suddenly politicians are endowed with this wisdom because they have an S on their lapel, a senator. They're endowed with the wisdom of how to save a planet. And they bring people to the brink of absolute psychosis and fear. And the only people that are getting rich are the people who spout such insanity. Think about it. People who believe in global warming have the same amount of chance as showing me the way to salvation as I do them about heaven. The only person who really changed the way they live and really believed in global annihilation was one person. That's Noah, right? His life was changed because he really did believe by an ark, whether you believe it or not, did exist. And he changed his life as if it was going to happen, right? No other people are living this life that are zealous about global warming. They may shout and scream, but their life doesn't reflect their zealousness about what they believe in, even though it's based on data that scientists give them that can't be proven one way or another. But yet we're going to change our lifestyle, give loads of money to politicians, and give up our freedom for the sake of a thing that they believe, that other people believe, that they're not the experts on. They don't have first-hand knowledge, but a way to manipulate people, just like most religions do, so they can have power and gain wealth.